Flosstube! Welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube, where I talk about my cross stitch in my garden, my geese. This is Flosstube 17, I think. It's the 28th of March. Last visit we'll have in March. This month has gone by. I don't know if it's due to driver's training or the stitching. The March Mania formatted stitch start along like craziness has been amazing. Like, I'm going to do it again next year. I loved starting all of the things this month, and I don't know if that's why March went by so fast, because normally March drags and drags forever. So I'm guessing it's because I got to start a million new projects, and so I'm gonna give credit to that, and I'm gonna do it again next year because it was so much fun. I have a couple more days left though. This week I've been stitching. Nate passed his driver's written exam for his permit to drive us around. He has a couple one more driver session with the instructor. I think it's tomorrow, and then he's gonna get his permit so we can be driven around by him for a change. Won't that be magical? He's told me that he does not feel comfortable driving my car, so I guess he's gonna be riding mostly with Dave. I don't know. I don't think it was. I specifically asked if it was me or my car. He's like, it was my car. So driver's training is wrapping up. This past weekend, I went on a retreat. It was the last Camp Stitch a Lot, hosted by Stitches and Things. Deb is retiring. There had been talks of selling it, but everybody ended up flaking out or falling through, and so she's retiring and closing the shop. It was super emotional, and I don't know. She had that retreat, I think, over 20 years. There was a couple of girls there that have been there almost every year. We had a really good time. I stayed one night at the hotel. It's just at a Best Western nearby, so I just stayed really late. I stayed both nights to close the stitching room with my friend Marilyn, and so then I drove home on Saturday night. But so I got a lot of good stitching in. I got to catch up with all those girls, and I'll tell you about my loot when I get to that section of the programming. Did you just hear dog? Sorry, they went out to play ball. But it was really, really fun. I got to catch up with Marilyn. I saw Sarah, and I got to sit next to Cassie Joe this time. This is the first time I think I've sat right next to Cassie. And she brings her daughter, Kara, and she's such a fun stitcher. And her mom's there, Deanna, and everybody. Mickey was there. It was just so much fun. I got to sit next to two new gals I never met. Kathy and her daughter-in-law. And hold on, I'm going to think of her daughter-in-law's name in a minute, because she was just fantastic, and she stayed up with me and Marilyn really late. Oh my god, this happens to me, you guys, you know it. So but I friended her on Facebook. So anyway, but it was so many new people, and people that I'd seen before, and Jackie was there. Oh, Jackie sat several people down, and every once in a while I'd be like, Jackie, what are you doing? But I'll see her next month at the Teresa Koget retreat, and I'm really excited. Harmony was there. You may have watched her Flosstube. She's fantastic. And I've never met her in real life. And then I met Heidi, who has found my channel before she met me. So that was exciting and nerve-wracking. But it was really, really fun. I'm forgetting a lot of people. Oh, so there's these twin sisters that go to the Anchor Bay. So most of those gals that I just mentioned are Anchor Bay stitchers. It's not actually Anchor. I don't know where Anchor Bay is. I think it's up north, isn't it? But they meet on Lake Huron-ish, near Lake Huron-ish. And so I think we have a stitching meetup in May, which I was really excited about, and they're just really nice. But these two twin sisters, Julie and Cindy, and they're just fantastic, and I love them. And they're funny, and they're really thoughtful, and I just love them. I wish I say I wish I could go down and stitch with them more often. I just need to at least like once a month because I miss all of their faces. And so when I was I mean, it's hard. It's been hard with like winter and hockey, and for a while there, Tuesday was one of Dave's only nights off. So I felt really weird, you know, like, hey, finally get to see you after, you know, you being sleeping or working for the past whatever. Can I just leave for several hours? So it's like an hour there, an hour back. I should go like once a month. That would make me happy. I got to see my friend Megan, and somebody almost told her that I had a Flosstube, and I was like, she doesn't know. So, and then she was like, what? And she's just like, it's such a, she just let it go. So, anyway, so, it was fantastic. Like, every single person there is wonderful, and, I enjoyed it very much. I got some serious stitching time in. I could have got more done if, I don't know. I think I had the inappropriate candy or something. I don't know. I had like candy, but no like snack. I don't know, you guys. I packed inappropriately with snacks, and I feel like that really hampered my stitching. Is that possible? That's probably pretty lame. Do you want to hear the most amazing thing? Okay. So this guy I married all those years ago, on Friday before I left, he's like, hey, grub, what is it called? We live in the country. Okay, let me preface this by saying we live in the country. I don't even think there's a place that will deliver pizza to where we are because we're a ways out. And so we don't get Uber Eats or Grubhub or whatever. So when we are in a city, like when we were in Florida, when we did that, he just like thinks it's such a waste of money. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to drive around and look for whatever. Anyway, so on Friday before I left, he's like, well, Uber Eats is going to be passing by at around 6. So if you want something, just text me and I'll drop it off. So I told him I wanted Panera and I wanted the biggest charged lemonade that they sell. And he brought me that. Isn't that beyond sweet? And so the next day I messaged him and I said, what time is Uber Eats running today? He's like, in a little while. So so then on Saturday night, he brought me dinner too. He's just sweet. I don't know if it's like he was actually just being cheap, like didn't want me to pay for delivery. Could be. Either way, it was really sweet, and I got to see their faces. And like when Nate brought it into the hotel for me, and he's like, how's it going in there? I was like, good. He's like, all right. And he like gave me a hug, which, hey, if you have a 15-year-old, you take any hug that is offered to you, whether you don't know why it's happening or not. You just take it, okay? So it was beyond sweet. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky girl. So, anywho, I stayed up late stitching on Friday night because that charged lemonade is no joke. And I went to my room and I stitched longer. I watched Roseanne and what is it? That show about the aliens. Anyway, I don't know. Third Rock from the Sun? Is that it? And I stitched my Saturday new start. Because I had that charged lemonade. I was up till 3. Then I woke up at 8 the next morning, went down, and I stitched. And yeah, I had such a good time. So let's talk about what I stitched. Not just what I ate. But, okay. So the only whip I have to show you is my wordplay. Everything else is a new start or finish. This is my wordplay. April. I've had a couple more friends join the group and the conversation's fun. Because most of the girls that are in the wordplay group are like me and they have brightened up the colorways. So you can see they're very like primitive and like muted. Well, all of us have brightened them up like 100 times. So I'm using inspiration I find on Instagram from Susie Stitches or Stitch and Susie. I've put her in the description box in the past and I can do that again today. And then also Penny's daughter Stitches. She also has done amazing ones, and she's just been finishing hers, and hers are really, really cool. So, did she finish hers on the same perpetual calendar I did? I don't remember. Anyway, either one is worth a check. I'll put their actual names down in the description box so you can find what I'm talking about because I know it can be dicey. But I worked on this last Wednesday. I don't remember what was going on, but I got so close, you guys. So close. I have like swoopy things and then daffodils. And I think that's just about it. I think I got all the words in. Maybe. I don't remember. But you can see I obviously brightened it up a ton. I actually used a lot of those colors that were just in the Color and Cotton Club. Like they were very spring-like baby carrot, green tea. Like there was all these mint chip. I know that this is mint chip because I messaged the gals. I almost said the kids. I messaged the kids on the Wordplay Wednesday group and said this mint chip is making my day because I love the variegation in this. And I use almost all Color and Cotton flosses. I'm sure, I don't know. I was concerned about the beehive and I think it looks fine. So I have some daffodils tomorrow and then these like swoopy things. You can look and see. They're white on here. And my friends did them in other colors. There's some like little things. Did I do the robins? Oh yeah, I did the robins. I'm going to tell you, there's like a bird in every Wordplay Wednesday. And sometimes I'm not in the mood. I did it. But next are my new starts. This has been a really fun week for new starts because of my March mania that I'm stitching. I really think that this format worked excellent for me. So far, I have, 3 days left? 2 days left? 3 days left. And so far, only one day in this entire month, I did not touch the project that I had planned. So, and I think it was more of my mindset than the problem with it. Well, I did have time management problems that day. I started today. August Flippets. Last one, you guys. It's the last one. I started it, and Nate had to go drive, and then I watched the Bougie Stitchers, and then I watched, what else was I doing? I don't know, but I was very distracted. And I got a little bit of the sandcastle bucket, a little bit of the flower basket, and the frame. It's better than nothing. And I still have Homeland tonight to do. Okay, listen. Time out. Let me tell you about the shows I've been watching. I'm still watching Homeland because it's really good. And I'm at the end of season 7 and I can't even believe what's happening. And then, but I have been doing like one episode sandwiched between something on Hallmark because I need it for the show that I recommended last week. I still 100% stand by my recommendation, and praise the Lord, they renewed it for a second season. The end of season 1 was on Sunday. I watched it live, which normally I record and then I watch it later, but I happened to watch it live on Sunday. It was such a cliffhanger. And the whole time, I thought that that's what was wrong, what happened to her brother. I'm just saying. But then I watched the show that just started after that. It's called Ride. It's about a ranching family in Colorado that do rodeo. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I liked it, and I'm going to watch it again. And I recorded it. So I still think that you should go watch The Way Home. I still really recommend it. Last Thursday, I started this Penelope and Peep by the Housewives. I love this pattern. And I did not get a ton done, but I believe that was a weird day. Probably another day where I had to sit in my car. I don't remember now what I did, but there is a little bit of a start, and I sure did enjoy stitching on it. Sometimes, even though you might not get a lot done, if I get some really good landmarks stitched in so that I can navigate when I have time later, it makes me feel really happy because I know I'll be able to pick it up easier and faster. That was what I stitched on Thursday. On Friday, I had mentioned I was starting this at the retreat, which was funny. And somebody that sat next to me, I don't know who, somebody, I feel like maybe it was more than one person, remembered that I had stitched on the summer last year. They said, weren't you working on that last year? I said, or I start, like they knew I was working on one just like that. So Prairie Schooler Spring. She loved that bird. And I didn't get a lot done. And I got, okay, this is fabric that I coffee tea dyed, okay? You can see it's got some good modeling, and the back does as well. Look at that. And I was sitting there starting it, and my friend Marilyn was sitting there, and she said, "Oh, that fabric, it's got like stuff on it." And I said, "Yeah, it's got some like burnt marks on it." She said, "The modeling is interesting." She was like, "Boy, I just keep getting distracted. It looks like something's on your fabric." I said, "Yeah, those are the burnt marks." And then she must not have realized what I was talking about, because then she said, "It almost looks like somebody spilled coffee on it." I said, "Yeah, I coffee tea dyed it." She just died laughing. She's like, "Oh, you meant for it to look like that." Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Maybe I probably left the stove on it, the oven unattended, but still I got the bottom part done. A little bit of it. I got quite a few of those letters in there. I find that you have to stitch the little letters first, and then you can fill in, because it'd be too difficult to navigate around. So I got through G. So I stitched on this on Friday, and then we closed down the stitchy room. And it was so funny because Marilyn and I were there stitching at the end after everyone had gone to bed. And our side, one table was full of everybody's stuff, their lights and their projects and everything. And the other half of the room had taken everything with them. I was like, they don't know us. They must not trust us. So I went to my room, and I knew I'd had too much of that lemonade to go to bed. So I sat down and I started stitching some more, and I decided to start my Saturday's new start, because it was Saturday technically. And so I stitched on this for a couple of hours, watched Roseanne and Third Rock from the Sun. I had posted on Instagram that I couldn't sleep, so I might as well start my Saturday new start. And well, even though everybody else went to bed, and my friend Allison messaged me and said, "You're no quitter. You can sleep when you get home." So this is my start. Brenda Gervais Hen and Chicks. I'm stitching this on 18 count coffee tea dyed. Again, burn marks. It's quite burnt. That's what I was going for. I used the tutorial from the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea, on their YouTube channel. It's a great tutorial. So I had stitched this green line at Saturday morning in my room while everybody was sleeping. And then when I went downstairs and I started stitching on later in the morning, after I'd slept a few hours, I started on the tail feathers, and I forgot that I was stitching over one, and I ended up stitching with 2 threads and then having to rip it all out. And so that's why there's not much there. But I did want to get a little bit of the blue dress done before I put it aside and worked on my Wipgo. So, and I got that little chicken. I do love this pattern. And then yesterday, my new start was Spring ABCs. And I got a good little start. I felt squirrely yesterday. I didn't have a very long attention span. This is also fabric that I burnt. You can see the burn marks. This is a 28 count. I don't remember if it was from Hobby Lobby or if I bought it on 123 Stitch, but it says Weigart base, and I had coffee tea dyed it. Obviously burnt it just about as much as that other fabric. But it's super, super smooth to stitch on, and I was really, really enjoying it. The feel of it is very nice, and I like the coverage with my floss, and I'm happy with this fabric, is what I'm saying. And then my last new start. Yeah. There's a lot of new starts around here. So my finishes. Last week in the Stitch Your Stash Zoom meeting. Did you go? Are you in the group? Jessica from Sweetwater Stitches and Alicia from the Fancyville Flamingo started a group on Facebook just to encourage people to stitch what they have in their stash. Not to swear off buying stuff for the year. It's just to encourage you to look what you have. Look at what you have first. Do you know that almost everything from my March Mania is stitched my stash? I bought like 7 DMCs or something. Everything else was stuff I already have. So they have a Zoom once a month with a designer. So far it's been Emily Call from salt.pepper.stitching. And then I think I missed February. I think, where was I on my cruise? I missed it. I think it was Chantel from 141 Design. And then last week was Rebecca from Sandbury Stitches. And it was super fun. Emily Call came. It was really fun. And so we stitched for a couple hours and I got this finished. I just really think that the community that's being built over there is very interesting and wonderful. Like, absolutely all positives. I just think it's a very unique experience over there. I don't know. You know, I have my gang of quilters that have been online group, but the community that's being built over there is very unique and wonderful. All wonderful. I finished this. You can see my mistake. Should I point it out? I was just, when I made this mistake, I decided not to finish it. And I thought, well, it's my Amish thing. When I make quilts, a lot of times if I make a mistake, this is supposed to have a stripe in it. That little petal right there. Hold on. Don't get car sick. This petal right here is supposed to have a stripe in it. A lot of times when I make quilts, I'll leave a mistake and just consider it my Amish thing, because the Amish are known to make something incorrect in their quilt so that their quilts are not perfect, because they believe that only Jesus is perfect. So I always use that as the reason my quilts were not perfect. And so I had left that petal, and then at the retreat that I went to, Jackie was talking about that, about the Amish, how they leave something wrong with their quilts. And I was like, yeah, I just did that. I didn't want my cross stitch to be after, I feel like last night I finished this. Just saw it sitting out and I was like, I'm just going to finish. All I had to do, I have to do the boat, but I did it. They're so fun to stitch on. I love the variegation on those strawberries. Just love them. It's a coloring cotton. Almost everything. If I don't have the DMC for it, where's my coloring cotton? Let's see if anything looks good. At the retreat, I did put some attention on this on both Friday and Saturday. I did it. It got really close at the bottom, you guys. I really was stressing. Kathy, the woman sitting next to me, was watching me, and I had put the P in, and then I was looking at how much space I had left, and I started getting nervous. So I framed out the pumpkin length, and then I put in a star at the bottom, or the little 5-piece, and it fit, and I was like, whoo! So then I finished them up, and I really think it's beautiful. My friend Megan and I started this at StitchCon together. Start together, stitch alone. And so she finished hers a while ago, but I have mine checked off, and that means I met my Wipgo goals for the month. So let's talk about my next month Wipgo. On Saturday or Friday, I'm not sure. Jessie from Jessie Does Stuff. Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Look up Wipgo, okay, guys? Just look up Wipgo. She posted the new numbers, and wouldn't you know it, my Fresh Egg Farm, which I had just called last week, done. It was done. I was just going to stitch the truck and be done with it. Also, thanks so much for everyone who really told me that I was not done with it, and I had, in fact, forgotten a leaf. This is why I love you guys, because several people reached out and said, did you miss a leaf on that truck? And I said, yes, I did. At first, I thought, no way, Jose. And then I looked and I was like, absolutely. Thank you for looking out. So technically, I still need to put a leaf in it, but it's done. And so that leaves a space on my Wipco board, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then I'll be darned, it gets pulled. So now I need to make a decision. So I have decided, I have in my little basket, I keep this basket on my stand, and I put like my floss when I'm done with it, and it is overflowing. It can't handle March Mania floss that needs to get put away. So I'm gonna call one of the projects that I started this month a new whip. One of the new whips I've created this month. They're in here. I think there was 9. That means I finished a good amount, you guys. But I'm gonna pull one, and that's gonna replace my Fresh Egg Farm. And I'll finish the leaf someday. It's just helpful because there's so many that are still kitted up. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the one I'd hoped for. I swear these are all different. And this is the one I hope for. Spring ABCs! I really, 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 really hope that this was get called, and it did. I feel like I won a prize, even though it's my own whip. That's weird. So that will be moving into my square 5, I think. And then this was the other whip that was called, this is Be Ye Thankful. This is a sale I invited myself into. And I was sitting next to Tammy at the Stitch Etc. retreat last July. She was stitching on this. I was like, that's so pretty. She's like, it's a sale that starts in September. And I was like, it's July. So she was getting a head start. And I invited myself along. I think I sat there and I bought all this stuff while I sat next to her. And I'm sure she's done. Everybody's done but me. Is everybody finished but me? Possibly. But I'm going to finish it in April. And I love this stitch. This is one of the first things I've stitched on 28 count, like a decent sized piece. And I feel very confident with 28 count now. So I think I'll enjoy finishing that. But so those are my whip goes for April. I have completed all my whip goals so far. So that's exciting. So now onto my haul. And I also have a gift. My friend Brandi. Do you watch Brandi and Emma? They're Brandi and Emma, not Breaking and Entering. Breaking and Entering Stitching. B&E Stitchery or B&E Stitching. I'll link it in the box, legitimately. But you know what? Words are hard for me. But she sent me this. Brandi sent me this. She saw that I had bought Summer Whirligig. And she said, hey, I have those and I'm never stitching them. So she sent me the whole group. So now I have all 4. So thank you, Brandi. And make sure you go watch them. And Emma's always in the Stitch Your Stash Zooms. And she's fantastic. And she's getting married soon. And she is one of the only people that knows how I convinced the woman to alter my dress. Like 2 weeks before my wedding. 9 inches. Anywho, that's the story for real life, you guys, not on my Flosstube. I did get my Grace Notes fabric. Don't you love their stickers? Hold on. Grace Notes fabric. And it's mint chocolate chip. Isn't it beautiful? What shall I be putting on this? What about a Halloween piece, you guys? I don't know. I'm planning a Halloween piece. It's kind of pinky, though. Like green and pink. I'm planning a Halloween piece. Are you going to Stitch New England? Because I'm planning to start something epic at Stitch New England for myself. And my friend Megan agreed. And because I'm going to be there in New England on Friday the 13th in October. And so I want to stitch something witchy themed because I do enjoy reading about New England and Salem witch trials and all that. And I figure that's as close as I'm going to get, especially on Friday the 13th, which I'm not traveling on. I'm traveling the day before. So if you want to stitch it with us, let me know. I think right now the plan is Primrose Cottage, The Witch Next Door. That's my plan. Have you stitched it already? Anyway, so I have to start looking at fabrics and decide what I'm going to do. So that was my Grace Notes fabric subscription. I may have signed up for a new subscription last week in the Stitch Your Stash Zoom. Somebody mentioned about a fabric club, and I think about half of us that were waiting in the Zoom signed up. So enablers is what they are. I love all of them. But that group is so interesting. I think you should join it. It's a very interesting place. So right after I complained about that shipping window that was extreme, I got a shipping notification. So I take back every word I said. The packaging was nice. They sent a needle. It was just beautiful tissue paper. It was perfect. So I got my order while I was gone at the retreat. And it's beautiful. This is Fabrics by Stephanie. It's called Colonial Parchment. It's an 18 count. Beautiful. Love it. I also got a few patterns from Market. And I believe that part of the reason could have been for the shipping was that one of the patterns I think had to be reprinted, and some of them need to be reprinted or something. I'm not sure. I'll show you. Erica Michaels. I figured I should learn how to do berries, because you know what I've learned so far this year? I've learned how to make tomatoes, like pincushion tomatoes. I'm going to learn how to make a biscornio. So I think I also should learn how to make a berry. And I don't know. So I'm going to do it. I bought Stacy Nash Spring Chicken Pin Keep. Beautiful. And I think it was Helen D. Was it Helen D? Who said that she bought this and she saw it in real life and she realized it's not little, it's big. And I was looking at the pattern. It's 9.5. That's big. I can't wait. And I think that Heidi said she would stitch along with me on that. Did you say that, Heidi? Was this somebody else? Did I just sign you up, Heidi? This is going to be a sale. My friend Holly has already created the hashtag, and you should go find it. I have no idea what the hashtag is. Holly's Instagram is Hobbies of Holly, or Holly's Hobby. I don't know. I have one of her, oh, did I just shake the camera? I'm so sorry. I have one of her floss keeps around here somewhere. And somebody asked me, here it is right here. Hobbies of Holly. Somebody asked me about this floss keep. It's from my friend Holly. She handed these out at StitchCon. And I think she handed some out at the Stitch Etc. retreat. Isn't she pretty? So, she created the hashtag. I think it's in either May or June or April. I don't know, you guys. I'm in. That's all I said. I'm in. I invited myself to Ye Be Thankful. Stitching out. I also got this one, Heart and Hand. A Honey of Effort. Do you know we're gonna get bees someday soon? So my haul from the retreat. Buckle up. I'm just kidding. It's calm-ish. So firstly, Deb always gives us a really cool swag bag, or like bag when you get there with goodies. This time I had little shortbread cookies and a couple little candies. And I already ate them. I always think it's so great when floss tubers are like, I didn't touch anything. I gotta open it and show you everything that's in here. And I'm like, good for you. She usually has sheep on her logo. And she said that she had shown her husband the mock-up. It said, live, laugh. He looked at it and he said, live, laugh, sheep. And so she changed it to a heart and just wrote Stitch. He's funny. Inside, she put a pattern. This pattern by Little Stitch Girl. She said she was looking through Market. Was this a Market release? Probably. And the only thing better than stitching is stitching with friends. She saw this and it made her cry because, you know, her shop is closing down and this is her last retreat after like 20 years. So she had messaged Little Stitch Girl Jordan and asked her if there was a way if she had enough at Market to get 77 extra or something. And so they made it happen. So everybody got one of those. And I'm going to always think of Deb. And then she gave us some stitching wax, some floss conditioner. I've never used beeswax on cross stitch. I have used Thread Magic on quilting, like when I use when I do bindings, but I've never used wax. Do you have any advice? Should I just like not use it if I don't think I need it though? She included some charms. These are pretty cute. I thought they were neat. She included a list of other shops, which almost made me cry. And you know I'm emotionally constipated. So that's extent that says something. This is just, I've never had a Gentle Arts floss, and it doesn't have a name on it. So what does that mean? Please explain. But it's beautiful. I'm going to use it before I even know what the name of it is. And then I did some shopping. Her annex was pretty sparse. She told us before that it would be sparse because she was not ordering new things. She took pre-orders from Market. She went to Market to say goodbye to her friends, and I'm sure it was a wreck. I was a wreck most of the weekend. But she had some things, and I bought a couple things. I did buy a Heart and Hand Creeping It round. I have another couple of these. I saw the bowl that this is for. It is minuscule, and it wasn't in my budget. I also bought a kit from Shepherd's Bush. I thought it was really pretty. Harvest of Plenty. Love that. It came with linen, because you know I stitch on linen, you guys. Some buttons and some floss. I bought some pin minis because I have not had any. I think I'm going to call Karen at the Cross Stitch Cupboard and order a set that I saw there. No, I didn't see them. There was a pattern for a set that you could get for free if you bought the pins. So I asked her about it because I didn't see any pins. She said, "Oh, somebody must have taken the pins." And I said, "Oh, dang." And so I didn't want to buy. She's like, "I can order them for you," but I didn't really want to buy them without seeing them. But since then, I've seen them on the internet, and that's good enough for me. So I think I'm going to call her back and order those. I ordered a little needle minder. It's like, look, it's like me and Dave with our dog and our chicken. And I bought some linen because I stitch on linen now, you guys. Forcefully, I have broadened my horizons. This is beautiful 32 count honeysuckle. All of her flat fabric just says HD linen, hand-dyed linen. I don't know who does it. I do not know. And this is interesting. This is a 30 count legacy linen mariner's map. I've never stitched on a 30 count. I don't even know if I've ever heard anybody stitching on it. What do I do? One or two? One or two. And then this is, I think this was from Market. This is called Grass, Old Lawn. Old Lawn. It's pretty. Beautiful. It's a 32 count. I think it's beautiful. So that's what I bought. I don't think I have many plans. I have 3 more days of new starts. So 3 more new starts for March Mania. Then I need to attack my retreat piece. And because I'm making that with Scorn You. I'm going to attack my retreat piece. And then I guess pick up my Wipgos and see what happens. I have been thinking a lot about what I want to stitch on regularly during gardening season, because I know I don't know. There'll be some sales like the new Brenda Gervais. But I'm thinking about starting Teresa's Farm by Twin Peaks Primitive. I know I need to restart my farms of Hawk Run Hollow, but before I do that, I think I'd like to stitch Teresa's Farm by Twin Peaks. When I bought the pattern in February, bought the floss in February, and so I think I'm going to maybe start that and just have that as something to stitch on while I'm working on my farm. If I have a spare moment, I can stitch on that. So I think that's what I'm going to do, besides my Wipgos and my sales. My seedlings are doing really well. I had 100% germination rate in my tomatoes. So that was great, even using my last year's seeds. So I was really excited about that. I noticed today that my melons are popping up. All my cabbages came up. My ornamental cabbages came up. Everything else is doing great. And so the weather's been nice. It's a tease. I think tomorrow we're supposed to get snow. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you that are here watching this, or watch part of it, or check in from time to time, or watch every episode, whatever it is. I just reached a threshold for my subscribers, and I am really, truly humbly thankful to everything. I cannot get over how amazing you are. Every one of you. I have thankfully only received positive feedback from all of you. A lot of helpful feedback, a lot of tips and tricks. A lot of you are just such wonderful human beings, and I'm so glad that I'm getting to know you, even if it is in the comment section. And I appreciate every single one of you. This week, I'm planning to make something real quick. I really wish I could actually send each and every one of you a handmade item from my heart, because the way you make me feel, I wish I could send you, each of you, something. But I think I have a giveaway planned that will send to one of you at least. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here. Honestly, everyone who shouted me out, everyone who just comes back, Tammy Totten, who has told, I think, about 500 people about this Flosstube. Every time. She's the best. But I really, really appreciate every single one of you. I'm completely humbled and blown away by the response I've had from this Flosstube. It truly started off as a way for me to document what I was stitching on, and it has grown to this thing that I am so amazed by, and I appreciate and love all of you. It's so weird. I know we don't know each other in real life. Some of you I do, but I just thank you so much. I don't know how to say thank you more. And I still have a hard time commenting back sometimes, because truly every single one of your comments, sometimes I'm so speechless that I can only think to say thank you for such kind words. And so if you have left me a comment in the past 16 videos, I want to tell you thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you. I literally wish I could say that a million times, but I sound like a broken record, but it's truly heartfelt, and I appreciate you. I'll check in with you next week. I'll have some more new starts, and a giveaway for my 2,000 friends. But have a wonderful week. Happy stitching, friends. Bye-bye.